Hello, 102 Basketball Wives, Season 12, Episode 10 review. The episode is called Go Deadbeat Go. I wanted to start off first with Brandi and Brittany's conversation. I understand why Brandi went to go check on Jackie. I don't understand why Jackie ignored Brandi and didn't want to talk to her. But as far as Brittany telling Brandi, why did you follow Jackie? Number one, that's a grown-ass woman that you're talking to. She doesn't need to explain to you. Yeah, so that is a grown-ass woman that you're talking to. If I was Brandi, I wouldn't have even explained myself. But Brandi was actually trying to explain herself to her. And she was like, okay, go ahead, say it to me as if I'm 5. And that is because, Brittany, I feel like people do talk to you like you're 5. And that is because you act, I know that Brittany is 33, but she acts like she's 23. I just turned 30, and I know Brittany's 33, but I feel like even me, I have a little more maturity than Brittany. I don't know what's going on with Brittany. But, and then Brandi was gonna explain herself. And before I get to what happened, with the whole situation, so another thing, so Brittany telling Brandi, why did you follow Jackie? Like I said, first of all, that's a grown-ass woman. She doesn't need to explain herself to you. And number two, it's not like Brandi and Brittany hang out. I could see if they were friends or if they hung out with each other, but you guys aren't even cool like that. You guys don't even hang out with each other. Why are you saying, hey, Brandi, why did you follow Jackie? Or questioning her actions. You guys aren't even cool like that. You don't even hang out with her. So after that, Brandi tried to actually explain herself. I wouldn't have even given her the time of day or explained myself to her. But what Brandi still tried to explain herself, and then Brittany ended up, I forgot exactly what she said, but basically she said, oh yeah, that's why you followed her like a dumb B word. And she actually called Brandi the B word. And it was it's not funny, but it was kind of funny because Brandi was eating, and then it's she didn't expect it, because any grown-ass woman wouldn't expect for someone to call them the B word, but we're talking about an immature person. Brittany, like I said, she's 33, but she acts like she's 23. And Brandi was caught off guard. She was eating, and then she heard bitch, and she stopped eating, and she looked at Brittany, and she's like, yeah, bitch. And she had the most serious look on. Yeah, Brandi gave her a serious look, like she was gonna beat her ass, and as she should. I mean, I feel like calling somebody the B word is almost the most disrespectful thing you could do to someone, besides putting your hands on them. And any grown woman knows that you don't call someone the B word unless they have done something really bad to you, they said something really bad to you, if someone's just messing with you and you know it's gonna be a fight, then you resort to that. But not in a normal conversation, especially to somebody you don't even hang out with Brandi or chill with her to get so mad to call her the B word. I've actually had that happen, and it's just a immaturity on Brittany's part. I've actually had that happen to me before. I took my daughter to an ex-friend's barbecue, and it kind of reminded me of it. And my ex-friend was like, oh, Marina wants to get in the pool, but the B word's not going to get in the pool. And I think I was in such a state of shock, because anybody in their right mind doesn't say that. And I was going to jump on her, but her wife was there, and I didn't know if I was going to get jumped. But I came home, and I was like, but this particular ex-friend of mine, she's very miserable. I mean, her whole family passed away, and she can't have kids. And I think she's very, very jealous of me because I have kids. And I just she's just very miserable and sad because she can't have kids. And so, yeah, when I came home, I was mad. But then I think what a miserable and sad person she is, and then it makes you just feel sorry for her and how not right in the head she is, and then you're like, you just kind of feel sorry for the person. But you know, I did tell my boyfriend, he's like, if I see her, I'm gonna tell her something, and I will sock her in her face. And I was like, you know what, like, let's just not even, you know, I didn't really bring him around her because I know that everything that's happened to her, and because she can't have kids, that she's not all there in her head, and I kind of just feel sorry for her. But later on in a conversation, I kind of got her back, and she was saying something about my cousin thinks she's her real cousin, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna tell her that the bitch ain't your cousin. And I kind of got her back, and I called her the B word, and I was waiting. Yeah, and I was waiting for her to say something because I was gonna fight with her, but she didn't say anything. So I was like, okay. So she didn't end up saying nothing. But I think at the barbecue too, her wife was saying how she didn't want to have no more kids. She already has a son, and she doesn't want to pay for all the medicine, I guess, that she needs. And I guess she's the only one that works, and my friend didn't work, and she's the only one that works and does everything, and she didn't want to pay for the baby or the medicine. And I guess my ex-friend got really mad, and I believe she took it out on me, and she called my daughter a name. But I'm like, you know what, everything that is sad about her life, you kind of just have to feel sorry for her. Yeah, but I don't know why that incident reminded me of that. I think because when you're a grown woman and you're kind of all there, you don't expect anybody to say the B word unless it's something real serious. And I kind of like, you know, could relate to Brandi in that scenario. She was like caught off guard, like, is this girl crazy? And she looked at her real serious. She called her the B word back and looked at her real serious, and Brittany didn't say nothing. I don't know why Brittany and all them, they're like 33. Brandi, Evelyn, all them, they're like 40s, in their late 40s. And these are like big dogs that Brittany is dealing with. Like, we all seen Evelyn pop a bottle over people's heads. Jackie, we know how, and Brandi's not scared. I don't understand why the big three keeps going after all of these OGs. I have to admit that I am kind of proud, or just kind of, it's cool to see Brandi, Evelyn, and Jackie be so calm and mature and not put their hands on them or not do anything. I think it's because they know that they're almost 10 years younger than them, and they're like kind of immature and silly, and I get that. I like that they're like being like respectful or calm of them, or like giving them a chance, or like, because they know that they're younger and more immature and more silly. But at the same time, I think that it's one of those things where, you know, when you let people get away with things, they tend to do it more, and then they think that you're not going to do anything to them. And it's coming to a point where I want Jackie, Evelyn, or Brandi to put their foot down. And I think that it is coming to that point. That brings me to the next dinner, where Evelyn tells Denise, we're tired of you, and you can see in her face and everything, I feel like Evelyn was ready to jump across the table, and Denise just didn't say nothing. And I think that they do need to start putting their foot down with them. I think they already gave them enough passes. I really like how Ming and Brandi confronted Brittany, like, hey Brittany, you know, you don't think you should apologize for calling Brandi the B word? And she said no. And I like the fact that Brandi mentioned Brittany's religion, because Brittany is wearing I think it's called the hijab. She's saying that she's Muslim and she's in the religion. And I like how when Brittany said that, you know, Brittany was saying the halam, or I don't know the term for the Muslim God, but that he's working on everybody, or he's still working on her. And Brandi said, yeah, he's working on me with you too. Like, basically she's losing patience with Brittany. And you know, when Brittany said, I feel like he's working on everybody, like basically trying to deflect and on not apologizing, like an excuse for not apologizing. And I like how Brandi said, you have selective, you know, like she's religious, but she's selective about it. And I like how Brandi said that to her too. I think it was very disrespectful of the big three, Chantel, Denise, and Brittany, to not apologize for calling Brandi the B word. Brandi didn't do anything to them, and at least just apologize. And it was very disrespectful that they didn't want to apologize. I also think it was disrespectful to the whole friend group, like, because it's kind of like, well, F everybody, I just care about myself, like, F everybody. I think they were being disrespectful to everybody in the group and everybody on the trip. And I really like how Ming stood up and said, you know what, I'm getting tired of this, and she left. And we didn't get to see the end of the dinner, but I really hope Brandi leaves too. I feel like Brandi could have a lot of like patience, but sometimes I'm like, I feel like Brandi needs to put her foot down, and I really hope that Brandi leaves as well. I also like how Ming addressed and let it be known to the big three, Brittany, Denise, and Chantel, that they are being nice, they are trying to be respectful, they know that they're like 10 years younger than them. And she's like, Ming was like, okay, Denise, because they're like being B-words to them, and Ming was like, okay, Denise, well, how would you like it if I came at you like this, like F you, B-word, blah, blah, and she got all street on her. And Denise like made a face like she didn't know what to do with herself, and Ming was like, you know, I could come at you disrespectful, but how would you like it if I came at you like that and I didn't apologize to you, you know? And she was just letting it be known, like, we're trying to be nice, we're trying to all hang out and be friends. And it was just so disrespectful. Like, Denise and Brittany, nothing was registering, and they were being like B-words to them. And that's when Ming just finally got up from the table and just left, and I agree with her. Now, to touch on Jackie and her daughter, honestly, it's coming to the point where I kind of feel sorry for Jackie, because I don't know what Chantal went through as a child, and I can't say if she endured abuse or not, but I'm talking about what we just see on the show. I haven't seen Jackie do anything so wrong to the point where she needs to be disinvited on the boat, or people have to pick sides. It's very immature that Chantal is pulling, I think she pulled, who did she pull first? Oh, she pulled Jennifer to the side and told her that she had to pick, she wasn't coming, like someone had to pick a side, but now she feels like people need to pick either her side or her mom's side. Now, if Jackie did something really bad, then I could see, like, to the point, like, the friend group might need to pick a side, but I don't feel like Jackie has done anything that is so bad that she needs to be disinvited on the boat, disinvited from the group, and people be picking on her, and that people need to pick a side. Like, I don't think it's that bad. And I think Jennifer's older, so she knows, like, she tried to tell Chantal in a nice way, like, I'm not going to get involved in family stuff, like, try to tell Chantal in a nice way, like, I'm not picking sides. I don't know. I haven't seen anything that Jackie has done to Chantal on the show that is so bad that people need to pick sides, that she needs to be disinvited on the boat and the activities. Now, Chantal also pulled Ty to the side. I think it was real dumb, stupid, immature of her to pull Ty to the side and say, did you invite my mom to the boat trip? You're not the boss of the group. She could invite whoever she wants on the boat. And again, I don't think Jackie did something so bad to where she can't be on the boat, or she can't be invited, or that people need to pick sides, or that Ty needs to pick a side. She didn't do nothing that bad to you where Ty needs to pick a side. And I think Ty knew it. I think Ty was just trying to, like, be nice and, like, smile and, like, stand there and be nice. But in the confessional, Ty in the confessional was, like, laughing. She was like, I think she knew that it was kind of, like, silly didn't make sense. She knew. So in the confessional, she was like, you know, everything, like Chantel is starting to act bossy like Jackie and pointing her finger like her mom, and everything that Chantel is trying to say she doesn't like her mom for, Chantel doesn't realize that she has the same characteristics, and Chantel doesn't realize that she's being bossy. And honestly, I feel like at this point, Chantel is just being really mean to her mom. She's being a bully. She's trying to disinvite her own mom on events. I honestly feel like Chantel is trying to turn her own mom's friends against her. I think she's trying to turn all the cast members against her mom. And mind you, Jackie has known some of these people like Brandi, Evelyn, Jennifer for like 10 plus years. Why would they turn their backs on Jackie? She didn't do anything, like I said, that bad to her, to where these people that have known your mom for years, you're asking them to basically not be friends with her anymore. It doesn't make sense. Honestly, I feel like Chantel, in the next clip, you can see that Chantel got in her mom's face, and anybody who is claiming that they were... I'm not saying that Chantel didn't get abused by Jackie when she was small. You know, we don't know for sure what happened, but on the next clip, you see Chantel get in her mom's face and talk to her crazy. She's been talking to her crazy the entire season. Anybody who is claiming abuse from their parent the way she is, she would have some type of fear towards their parent. Honestly, it doesn't look like Chantel has any fear when it comes to Jackie. And even in the next clip of the next episode, you see that Chantel steps in her mom's face and is talking to her crazy and pushes her. That doesn't look like a person that's been abused or has fear for their mom. That looks like a person, honestly, that looks like a person who grew up spoiled, entitled, to be yelling at your mom and hitting her and be on her face. It looks like she grew up spoiled and entitled, which has been her behavior this entire season. I don't know about other people, but growing up, if I were to talk to my mom in a certain way, and even now, if I were to disrespect my mom would put hands on me. And there's a level of respect and kind of fear that I have towards my mom. And I know that some people grew up where their moms let them yell at them. They let them do whatever. And now that person is an adult and they feel spoiled, they feel entitled. But one of these days, Chantel is going to meet her match, and it's going to, you know, somebody's going to end up messing her up for being really disrespectful to people. So I'm excited for the next episode because we get to see Jackie and her daughter finally sit down, and maybe my opinion will change because maybe did Jackie say something to Chantel to make Chantel do what she did. I think it's messed up that because Jackie is 55 years old, so it's kind of messed up to see Chantel in the scene for the next episode. It's messed up to see her step in her mom's face, say don't touch me. Jackie didn't touch her. You can see Jackie was trying to walk and they kind of intertwined, but it wasn't on purpose. And Chantel said don't touch me, hit her mom, stood up and stood in her face almost to intimidate her mom. Her mom is 55 years old, and I feel like when you deal with people who are 50 and up, senior citizens, there's a level of respect that you should have towards them. I feel like when you get older, you naturally get health issues, and to see someone step to their mom, to talk to their mom who is a senior citizen and try to fight them as if they were somebody their own age, I think it's pretty messed up. And you've seen Jackie, even though there are some strong women who are, because Jackie looks strong, 50 and up, but when you get older, you know, sometimes you get health issues, and it's crazy that she stepped to her mom as if she was stepping to somebody her own age. And in the next scene, you can see that Jackie like socked her daughter. Now I don't know if it's the So the way they edited it, it looked like Jackie socked her daughter. But I don't know if we see the episode and maybe Jackie just pushed her daughter. But we'll see on the next episode. One more thing about Brittany telling Brandi, why did you follow Jackie? You know, and besides the fact of them not even hanging out together or being cool like that, to question her actions, and then other than the fact that Brandi is a grown-ass woman, she doesn't need to explain nothing to you. But I've been watching this show since I was in my early 20s. I'm 30, and when I was watching it in my early 20s, Brandi and Jackie were on the show together. Now, I'm not saying that they're real cool or that they haven't had issues, but they have been in each other's lives for probably 10 years or more. And Brittany came around last season. So Brittany, you've been knowing these girls for maybe a year or two, and you're trying to get involved in their business. They've been friends for maybe 10 years or more, and trying to say, why did you follow her? That makes no sense. Another thing before I end the video is that I have been on Jackie's side with this, but I was kind of getting a little mad that that Jackie kept walking away from her daughter and didn't want to have a conversation with her. But then once Jackie and Jennifer had a conversation on the boat, that she knows that Chantel is very resentful or hell-bent on getting her and just mad at her. She's not focused on fixing things with her mom. And the reasoning why Jackie keeps getting up and leaving is because she doesn't want to argue with her daughter or have a big thing happen in front of people, in front of national television, where it's going to be on a show. And in a way, as a mom, I understand that. It's a form of protecting your daughter, protecting your family, maybe even protecting your family reputation. And as a mom, I can understand that. I don't know if maybe Chantel is too young to understand that. Now, the only thing that kind of makes me mad and kind of makes me change my mind a little bit is when I heard that Jackie wants to have a conversation with her daughter, but only on YouTube or her TV show. It kind of made me wonder, because it's like, okay, you're saying that you're walking away from your daughter because you don't want to do it on national television. You're trying to protect your daughter, protect your family, but you said you would do it for your YouTube or your TV show, like to exploit your daughter. And it would have been better if Jackie were to have said, I want to have this conversation in private or without the cameras, like between me and my daughter. But when she said, I'll only do it for my YouTube or my TV show, it's like, I thought you said you didn't want to exploit your daughter or your family. So I'm unsure if I'm still Team Jackie or not. Now, if Jackie were to say, well, you know what, I don't want to have this big thing happen on this show and Shawnee get the proceeds, because I hear that Shawnee gets a lot of the money and she doesn't really pay the girls that are actually working on the show. She doesn't pay them a lot. So if Jackie were to say, well, I don't want to have this big fight or whatever, and Shawnee get the proceeds or the profit or the money, hey daughter, let's go on my YouTube, my TV show, and whatever profit we get, let's split the money. I think that would make sense. But if she is saying if Jackie's trying to be selfish or a narcissist to say, I'm not going to do this conversation with you even in private, it's going to be on my YouTube or my TV show so I can get all the profit, now that's where I'm going to have a problem with Jackie, and I'm no longer going to be Team Jackie anymore, and I'm going to see why Chantel is the way she is. Also, another thing that kind of bothered me a little bit is when Ming brought up the fact that they went on the Vegas trip and that Jackie hasn't had not one conversation with Chantel off camera. Like, at least if you don't want to fight on camera, call your daughter, have a conversation. What is it so hard? Like, nothing that bad happened to where you can't call your own daughter and have a conversation unless you're that selfish and you just don't give a F about your kids. And Ming was saying that Jackie didn't have a conversation with Chantel, not even privately, since they went on the Vegas trip, which was like months ago. And I'm like, now that is like neglect, and that is kind of like messed up. Now, you know when people gossip and like lies get spread around, or you think you might have heard something one way but it wasn't? I don't know if that's going on, because I did hear one of the girls say something about that after the Vegas trip that Chantel and Jackie live in the same hotel, and so that after the Vegas trip, that Jackie knocked on the door and tricked Chantel and like surprised her and came around the corner, and that she told I think even Chantel was saying this, and that Jackie told Chantel, can I at least see my grandson? And so that would make what Ming said a lie. So I don't know if it's gossip, if it's lies, if the producers are doing it, but I don't know exactly how true that is. And that's what I'm like, wait a minute, like, is there rumors getting spread around? So last two things I'm going to say before I end the video is that when Jackie was walking away from the dinner table, and Brittany, when Jackie was walking past Brittany didn't say nothing, but once Jackie got to the bridge and Brittany started yelling, go deadbeat, go deadbeat, I think that there is no need for Brittany to do that, especially if you're claiming that you're in a religion. If you're in a religion, there has to be some form of humbleness, of healing, of forgiveness, of at least wanting, like telling Chantel, hey, like, girl, I know things aren't going good with your mom, I hope you guys work it out. But it looks like Brittany is being like a bad influence to Chantel. It looks like she's being a bad influence to Denise and Chantel. She's like adding fuel to the fire, and she's not really like wanting to work things out. She's like more just like wanting Chantel and her mom to fight. For Chantel to let Brittany bully her mom in front of her is crazy. I mean, me and my mom, me and my family could get into it or say things, but I would never let my friend or anybody else say anything to my mom or my family, because then me and you are going to be fighting. For Chantel to let Brittany do all that and bully her mom in front of her, that is crazy. And the last thing I want to say, I guess end this video on a positive note, is Ty. I like how Ty isn't a follower, and she has her opinion and she stands on it. She doesn't even need anybody to follow her. And I really think Ty should be back next season, because she has this mutual peace, something that Brittany doesn't have, and Brittany is claiming a religion, but I really like how Ty stands on her own. She's not a follower, and she's very, she's very fair, and I think Ming is really fun too. I think that she is also not a follower, and she states her opinion and she confronts people, so she's very fun. So I think that Ty and Ming should definitely be back on the show next season. Anyways, that is the end of this video. I hope you guys liked the episode. The new episode comes out next week. Please like or comment anything. It really means a lot if I were to see a comment or a like. And please subscribe. I want to get to 100 subscribers, so please subscribe if you like reality TV reviews, or if you like this video, and thank you, bye.